They're watching you, not kindly, not innocently, not even consciously. Every time you step into a room, eyes measure you, weigh you, strip you down to weakness or strength. You think you're just walking through life, being yourself, but you're wrong. You're leaving clues, and Machiavelli warned the man who reveals himself in public is already finished. Not because people hate you, but because they're predators, and predators only respect one thing: silence. Power isn't what you show them, it's what you force them to imagine. So let us talk about the 9 things you must never do in public if you want to stay untouchable. And the first is the most painful because you've already done it. You've been taught that vulnerability is strength, that sharing your pain makes you relatable, that opening up earns you love. But in public, pain is not relatable. Pain is bait. Machiavelli said it flatly. He who confesses his wounds invites more arrows, and he was right. When you complain, sigh, slump, or even let a flicker of frustration cross your face, the room sees it and the room never forgets. They don't comfort you, they don't admire your honesty, they just file it away. This one cracks under pressure. The powerful endure in silence, even when it feels like swallowing glass, because silence creates mystery. And mystery is what makes them afraid to touch you. So the next time you're cut open in front of them, will you let them see you bleed? Or will you finally learn to suffer where no one can find you? There's a quiet tragedy in how people sabotage themselves in public. They lower their eyes, laugh nervously, admit the thing they hate most. I'm not good at this. I've always struggled with confidence. I'm just not that type of person. And the crowd smiles politely, while adjusting their expectations of you forever. Machiavelli warned, the man who names his weakness gives it to others to use against him. It doesn't matter if you mean it as a joke. It doesn't matter if you say it to seem humble. Every confession you make becomes a fact in their minds. And once the room believes it, you will never convince them otherwise if you lack confidence. Hold your frame anyway. If you're unsure, let them see only posture, stillness, presence. Not because you're a liar, but because appearances become truth in public. Even the most fragile man alive can appear unbreakable if he simply refuses to volunteer his own flaws. So next time you feel that confession rising in your throat, ask yourself, why hand them the weapon to kill you later? Listen closely. They don't care what you're about to do, they care what you've already done. And every word you spend bragging about the empire you will build only gives them time to sabotage it before you even lay the first stone. Machiavelli smiled at those who shouted their ambition in the streets. He knew they were already dead. Men walking. Because when you declare your plans in public, 2 things happen. Those who might have supported you see no urgency, you sound like you already have it under control. And those who wish you harm now have a perfect map to interfere. Power moves in silence. Real players let their results make the noise. You want the room whispering about you, not nodding because you already explained it all. Let them watch you from the corner, confused why you're so calm, wondering what you're really working on. Then, when it's undeniable, let your work announce itself. So, next time your mouth burns to tell them what you're building, ask yourself, why reveal the ending before the game has even begun? In every room you enter, there's already a fight happening, not always loud, but it's their small rivalries, grudges, whisper campaigns, and they'll try to pull you in. They'll say, what do you think? Whose side are you on? And the weak always answer, thinking loyalty makes them look noble. But Machiavelli warned, siding publicly in someone else's quarrel learns you nothing but enemies. Why? Because you inherit their war, you take on risks for emotions that aren't even yours, and worst of all, you reveal your values before you have the power to enforce them. The powerful know better. They watch, they remember, they let others expose themselves first. Neutrality isn't cowardice, it's strategy. By staying quiet, you preserve your position, and when the dust settles, you're the only one left standing clean enough to claim what remains. So, next time 2 fools demand your opinion, ask yourself, do I gain more by being their weapon or by letting them destroy each other for me? There is no stench more obvious in public than desperation. You've seen it: the forced laughter, the too loud jokes, the hunger in someone's eyes when they're begging the room to notice them. And you've felt it too, haven't you? That urge to be seen, to belong, to be liked. But Machiavelli knew the more you chase them, the faster they run. Because in public, neediness shrinks you and indifference grows you. The man who enters calmly, silently, unbothered by whether the room welcomes him, that's the man everyone starts watching. When you appear self-contained, they begin to wonder what you know that they don't. When you don't try to join the conversation, they strain to include you. It's human nature. We crave what refuses to need us. So, next time you step into the room, ask yourself, will they remember you because you demanded their attention or because you didn't need it and they couldn't figure out why? Pressure is not a moment, it's a test. The room is always watching when it comes. An insult, a challenge, an accusation, a sharp silence after your words, and most people crack not by exploding but by leaking. Their shoulders stiffen, their voice tightens, their face betrays them, and in that instant the myth they built evaporates because now everyone knows you can be rattled. Machiavelli never showed pressure, he absorbed it like stone absorbing the wind. Even when boiling inside, his surface stayed still, not robotic, not fake, just unshaken, because power isn't measured by how loud you can shout, it's measured by how little you flinch when the world bares its teeth, when you remain calm under fire. You don't just win the room, you become the room's center of gravity. So next time they test you, ask yourself, will you let them see you bleed or will you make them wonder if you even can? In a world that feeds on what you reveal, your silence becomes your sharpest edge, and when they finally lean in, desperate to understand what you are, just smile, because the truth is, you're not here to be understood, you're here to be impossible to ignore.